Hey everyone, we all see how amazing AI is becoming, right? But behind every single one of those incredible answers, there's a hidden cost, a massive one. Today, we're going to dig into the incredible amount of energy AI needs and how it's creating a dilemma that could honestly reshape our entire world. Okay, let's just jump right in with this quote from our source material because, wow, it's pretty intense. It's basically saying we are heading towards an energy crisis so big that it might force us to completely rethink what we thought was possible. And that's really the heart of what we're talking about today. So here's our roadmap. First, we're going to look at just how thirsty AI is for power. Then, we'll see how that's ballooning into a potential global energy crisis and the huge problem this creates for governments. And finally, this is where it gets really interesting. We'll ask the question, could this crisis actually be the thing that pushes us into a completely new energy future? All right, let's get into our first section, AI's insatiable appetite. You know, we're all celebrating this incredible technological revolution, but every revolution has a price tag. And for AI, that price is paid in energy. A lot of energy.
It's a fair question, right? Why is AI such an energy hog? Well, it all boils down to raw computation. The super complex neural networks that make these models work, they need an incredible amount of processing power, not just to learn, but for every single query. And all that processing requires a massive, constant flow of electricity.
Now, check this out. This slide really puts it into perspective. A single question you ask a generative AI can use around 10 times more energy than a simple Google search. Now, just think about the billions of searches happening every day, and you can start to see how quickly this adds up. And listen, this isn't some problem for the future. It's already here. AI servers are already responsible for almost a quarter of the energy costs in data centers. And you see that little note? That slice of the pie is getting bigger every single year. So that brings us to our next section. We've seen the power drain from one query. Now let's zoom out and look at the whole picture. Because this isn't just about a few computers getting hot. This is about a global surge in energy demand that our current grids just weren't built for. Okay, get ready for a truly mind-boggling number. By 2030, the International Energy Agency thinks data centers alone are going to need 945 terawatt hours of electricity. That's more than double what they use today. And that growth is happening at a terrifying speed. Some are predicting a potential 165% jump in just a few short years. I mean, that kind of explosive growth is, well, it's just not sustainable with the way we do things now. To really wrap your head around that 945 terawatt hour number, that's about the same amount of electricity that the entire country of Japan uses in a year. We are literally talking about building an energy demand the size of a whole industrialized nation just to power our data. It's wild. And that, of course, leads us straight to the government's dilemma. How are you supposed to power this incredible digital future when your grids are already stretched to the limit? This is a completely new kind of challenge for leaders all over the world. See, the problem has a bunch of layers. Our traditional power sources are already struggling, and renewables, which are so important, just aren't growing fast enough to keep up with this new AI-fueled demand. On top of that, you've got global issues pushing prices up to the point where some tech companies are spending up to 60% of their operating costs just on electricity. So this leaves governments with a really tough choice. Do they risk slowing down innovation and the entire digital economy by putting a cap on energy? Or do they start looking for a totally radical, maybe even previously unthinkable, new way forward? And that's where the story takes a really interesting turn. Because a crisis this huge, well, it has a way of forcing big changes. When you absolutely have to find a solution, ideas that used to seem crazy can suddenly start to look pretty reasonable. This brings us to this idea of paradigm-shifting energy. We're talking about technologies that have been on the scientific fringe for a long, long time. Ideas about generating huge amounts of power with very little input. Stuff that's mostly been dismissed as impossible. But as this energy crisis gets worse, the pressure to take a second look at these things is definitely growing. So what would that even look like? Well, you could imagine a path forward. It would have to start with everyone just admitting how serious the crisis is. From there, maybe governments start seriously reevaluating some of these so-called fringe sciences, putting real money into pilot projects, and eventually building the rules for a whole new energy system. And that brings us to our final section, the dawn of a new era. Because what if this isn't just a crisis we have to survive? What if it's actually the catalyst for the next great energy revolution? And that's really the key takeaway here. This massive, seemingly impossible problem created by AI's hunger for energy might just be the push humanity needs to unlock totally new ways of powering our civilization. It could force a leap in innovation that doesn't just solve the AI problem, but a whole lot more. So we'll end with this powerful thought. The line between science fiction and state necessity is getting blurrier by the day. The question isn't really if we need a breakthrough anymore. The question is, what happens when our most advanced technology demands one just to keep running? That's a thought that is definitely going to shape our future.
Alright, so from AI worries, let's shift to AI advantages for creators.
Okay, let's talk about how top creators are using AI to totally automate their workflow.
If you're a creator, you know the grind is real. The pressure to post is just relentless.
And get this, you're competing with over 20 million other creators out there. That's insane.
It's this endless loop, right? Writer's block, then tedious editing. It can totally burn you out. But what if AI could just handle the hard stuff? Let's start with that dreaded blank page. Okay, first up is TubeMagic. Think of it as your personal idea machine. Writer's block, gone.
And it's super simple. You just match your channel's style, pick an AI, set the length, and go.
And this isn't some new gimmick. Creators have already generated over 200,000 scripts with it. So you've got this amazing script, awesome. But now you actually have to make the video, right? That's where vid.ai comes in. It's an AI video generator that turns your script into a short. And again, it's a crazy simple process. You put in your script, customize the look, and generate. You get a ton of creative tools too. We're talking AI voices, visual styles, even gameplay backgrounds. Okay, so this is where the magic really happens. Let's put these two tools together.
So, step 1, you generate a viral style script in TubeMagic that matches your channel's voice.
Then, you literally just copy and paste that script straight into vid.ai. That's it.
You go from a blank page to a finished short in minutes. No camera, no editing skills needed.
But look, does this stuff actually work? Let's hear from some creators who are using it. That's from Matt Parr. He runs 12 channels and actually created vid.ai to solve his own problem.
And his results? His channels have over 1 billion views. Yeah, 1 billion.
So it's not just about saving time. It's about using the right keywords to actually rank higher. Creators are literally planning out months of content this way. Imagine that, zero stress.
So what this all does is free you up from the grunt work to focus on strategy and growth.
Look, the future isn't about working harder. It's about working smarter. And that means using AI. So the real question isn't if AI will change things, but how you're going to use it to win.
Thanks for watching to the end of this video. If you want more content like this, there is a playlist that should be popping up right now. Stay tuned for more. I've also made this free video for you with solutions for creativity, financial strength, and online security. I hope you'll enjoy this offer as well as all the others featured on my channel. And that concludes this video. Thanks for watching, and until next time, this is Hermalau Tube. My name is Konstantin, reminding you that your interest is the current that powers this channel.